speaker, Engineer Jassim Telefat, Competition Venues Executive Director at the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, who will talk about the preparations for FIFA 2022. Engineer Jassim, you have our attention.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Lara. Thank you for giving the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy the chance to talk to you today. We are super excited to tell you about the latest developments that we have for the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. We are 85% ready for the moment to host this great event in the region and on behalf of the Arab world. Inshallah. And in the short time given, I will be just going through the latest developments that we have in the 8 stadiums that we are preparing to host the World Cup. They are Khalifa Stadium, Al Janoub Stadium, Education City Stadium, Al Bayt Stadium, Al Thamama Stadium, Al Rayyan Stadium, Ras Ba'aboud, and Al Lusail. So I'll go through one by one and give you some glimpse about each one and where we are. The first one that we have is Khalifa International Stadium, a stadium that everyone remember. It really has great memories for all the people in the region. This is located in the heart of Aspire Zone. It was hosting the opening of the Asian Games in 2006. It was hosting a lot of events for the Arabian Gulf Cup. It was recently redeveloped in 2017, hosted the Amir Cup after relaunching in 2018. And after that, also it hosted the IAAF World Athletics in 2019 and the Club World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup in 2019. It has 40,000 spectator capacity. It was an air conditioning technology was put in there, and all the FIFA requirements that are needed for the World Cup. It's the home of the Qatar national team, and it's really, as you can see, it's ready long back to host the games in the World Cup. It's most of the stadiums I'm going to talk about has a very great passionate about sustainability. It has great certificates from GSAS, and it has really a high standard of sustainability in all of them. And one of them is Khalifa International Stadium. The next stadium that I'm going to talk about would be Al Janoub Stadium, that was launched in 2019 in the Amir Cup final. And it's 40,000 spectators. It was designed by a signature architect, Zuha Hadid. It's a very iconic in terms of architecture, and it represents the flipping boats, which represents the southern parts of the country, Al-Wakra people culture, and it's very iconic with a park. And that park is already launched for the public to enjoy since the sport day, and it's ready to host again the games for the World Cup. The third stadium that I'm going to talk about will be Education City Stadium, which was launched last June. And it's again one of the stadiums that became ready. It's located in Education City Master Plan, which would ideally serve the needs of the knowledge hub in Qatar, which is Education City. It would have 2 schools incorporated in it, which would be opened even before the World Cup as a great legacy that would be kept for people to really enjoy in Education City. Plus, the sport complex that would be there would be used by both educational and community sectors in Education City and serve the community. It's located, as you could see from the photo, adjacent to the world-class golf course, a beautiful one that is already launched in Education City, called the Education City Golf Club. It's 40,000 spectators. It would be reduced after the World Cup to 25,000, and the seats would be donated to countries that would like to develop or grow or try to enhance their sport capabilities. This is, again, one of the stadiums that you would see soon having some official games with the agenda that we have now in Qatar. Very big agenda of events that will be coming later this year. The third stadiums I'm going to talk about, or the fourth stadium, sorry, is Al Rayyan Stadium. Al Rayyan Stadium, located close to Qatar Mall, was built. Was actually rebuilt again after the old Rayyan stadiums, and it's now fitting the FIFA requirements. It's almost complete. It's 98% complete. We're on the final testing and commissioning and working with the local authorities, doing some tests before integrating the stadiums soon this year. It's a 40,000 seats stadiums that would be again reduced to 20,000, that would be contributed to some of the friends in other countries that would be developing in sport. It's going to be the home stadiums of Rayyan Club, as a great legacy that would be kept in there. There are a lot of running tracks, cyclings, and training sites in the precincts around the stadiums, which makes it a perfect place. The facade of this building represents some architectural patterns from the Qatar local architecture, which makes it really blend and belong to this land in Qatar. The next stadiums I'm going to talk about is Al Bayt Stadium. And when you talk about Al Bayt Stadiums, when you are driving to the lovely city of Al Khor, the first iconic architecture that would come to your mind is really that beautiful structure that's coming from the local culture. It's we call it at the tent, or Beit al-Sha'ar, which really attract the attention of anyone that drive in. Just when you are entering to that city, you'll immediately see that lovely stadium that will have the opening of the World Cup, inshallah, in 2022 in Qatar, and would be hosting games all the way to the quarter final. It is again almost wrapped up. It's in the final stage of testing and commissioning and getting the local authorities and doing some test games before integrating these stadiums later this year. And it's almost done and ready. The park was launched in the sport day, and it's ready for the enjoyment of the community. It's almost similar to the Aspire Park, and has similar features: lake, cycling areas, walkways, training sites, and restaurants, coffee shops that are over there for the community to enjoy, as a great legacy that comes alive before even the World Cup starts. And that's what makes the excitement about this project. Next stadium is Al-Thumama Stadium, or we could call it Al-Gahfiyya. And again, it's coming from a great local architect, famous architect called Ibrahim Al-Jada, who come up with this idea of Al-Gahfiyya. And Al-Gahfiyya represents a local cloth that is very famous in Qatar. In fact, it's really even something that is exchanged with other cultures that use the same thing in different ways. So this is also one of the stadiums that would be launched next year. It is in more than 80% in terms of completion. If you drive there, you would see that's what you're going to see in the picture. It's almost as a shape already completed. The seats are installed, and the facade is completed, and even the training sites outside are ready to be utilized. So this would be a 40,000 seats. It would be having a great legacy after then, and then it will be adding to have some of the medicine centers and some of the uses that would be over there. There would be a lot of training sites in the precincts. There will be walkways, and there will be cycling path for the community to enjoy once it's ready next year. The next stadiums I'll be talking about is Ras Ba'aboud Stadium. And here is a story, a great story of a stadium that is done to meet the capacity required during the World Cup. But then you would be able just to use these containers that are really making the stadiums together, where they are used during the games, and then after the games, it would be used in the economical development in the country, and the stadium would be diminished after the games and would be used elsewhere. It's a 40,000 seat stadium. It would be ready next year. It's in very good progress at the moment. If you drive around in the Ras Ba'aboud area, you would see the development is getting along with the seats being installed and the structures being put in there. The next, this is a photo that was taken recently about the installations of these structures that's making Ras Ba'aboud stadiums together. The last stadium that I'll be talking about is Lusail Stadiums in the great city of Lusail, which is really the most developing city now in Qatar, and has exciting projects around it. It's 80,000 seat stadiums that would be hosting the final of the World Cup. It is again, it's really going very fast, and hopefully will be completed in 2021 next year, and will be launched and will be ready to host the games in 2022. This is a photo that was taken to the stadium recently, and as you're driving around, you would see that there is a lot of really activities happening to make it happen. This is a quick view about the stadiums that we're working on to make the event one of the most exciting and one of the most successful and most amazing World Cup that happened ever in the history. Thank you very much for listening, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions now.
Thank you, Engineer Jassim. Yes, actually it's so exciting to hear and to see this wonderful progress. Before we proceed to the Q&A portion with our participants, allow me please to ask you, aside from making sure that the stadiums are completed before 2022, what are the other preparations of Supreme Committee to communicate the readiness of Qatar to host fans all over the world for FIFA 2022?
As a parent, and as anyone can see, the mass developments, the progress, the booming that's happening in upgrading the highways, expansion that's happening to Hamad International Airport. You could see also the terminal services that are really in preparations to receive people. You would see the Lusail city developments that's really also adding to the preparation required to receive the fans in Qatar. We will be having cruise ships also to support the accommodations that would be required during the World Cup. We have team villages that would be also hosting the teams during their stay in Qatar. A lot of hotels, a lot of developments is happening. A lot of things is going on here to make it ready. A state-of-art Doha Metro, which is already launched, is ready to receive people and make their trips very successful and very smooth from a stadium to stadium. It's the first time in the world where you could enjoy two games in the same day, going from far stadium to another far stadiums, and you could enjoy easily being there for two matches during the day. And that's going to happen because of this great infrastructure that is developed in Qatar to receive people. There will be dedicated buses, which we are working on, that will be taking the fans from place to place. It would be a lot of excitements for people to enjoy in Qatar when they come in 2022.
Engineer Jassim, what's your message to worldwide football fans waiting for that tournament?
Well, we are excited to see you in 2022 in Doha. We are really would like, this is one, we promise that this would be one of the best and the most unique FIFA World Cup that happened ever. And we would like to welcome all people from all over the world to enjoy the excitements in 2022, enjoy the games, enjoy the football family, and enjoy Qatar. Qatar, best place in the world, I would say.